You know what's funny is someone DM'd me and said, I don't know what it's like to work that they barely scrape by. Do you know what it's like to barely scrape by? Because I wasn't getting paid minimum wage at my Dunkin' Donuts job. She took advantage of the fact that I had a learning disability. You don't know what it's like to get treated differently, especially because you have a learning disability. I got treated differently. When things happened at my job, I couldn't say anything. When I talk about my Dunkin' Donuts job, people said that whatever happened to me is warranted and I got fired for bad hygiene, which was not the case. And it is totally I was being bullied by my boss. And when I saw something happen, I couldn't say something because literally, if I said something, I was afraid of being terminated or fired. To tell me I don't know what it's like to work, I've worked at Dunkin' Donuts. I had to get up before 5 at 4 and get ready to go to work. And then on top of getting up at 4, then I had to get to work. I stood there all day making the same sandwiches every single day. Everybody else got to pick what they wanted to do, right? At my job, she was like, pick your guys' stations and stay there. I wanted to make the coffee. I no longer wanted to be on the sandwich station. She's like, you're going to have to be on the sandwich station because you know about it more. I was the only person out of everyone else that didn't get to pick what job I wanted to do. Nobody wanted to work the sandwich station. And because of that, I think she knew she was going to have an issue with people not wanting to work, but because it's me, she knows that I'm just going to take it and not say anything. So I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to argue with her. I'm not going to lose my job over this. People don't understand that they say that I don't know what it's like to work. When I was younger and I was a teen, me and my brother walked around from yard to yard and cleaned yards in the heat for money. So don't tell me I don't know what it's like to work. I was running businesses when I was young. I sold candy at school to make money. I literally was selling snow cones to make money. I literally was walking from one house to another asking people, do you need your yard cleaned for $5? Literally, me and my brother cleaned yards. That's what we did. I walked around because I literally was destined to own a business. People don't understand. Like, literally, I had work ethic. I was a teenager walking around from house to house, cleaning yards and houses for money, for $5 in the heat. And then you have the nerve to tell me I don't know what it's like? We lived in a gated community where our association made us clean our yard. We couldn't have any weeds, so we had to pull and pick our own weeds. I was doing stuff in the heat. To tell me that I don't know, I know exactly, I know. I literally would have to walk places, far places, just to buy things at the gas station or get stuff. I literally tried to work. To say I don't know, you know what's discouraging is going to places, having them look at your face, and then telling you to apply online, which then in turn tells you you're not getting the job. And the places that told me to apply online, I know they don't look at the applications online. I just knew right then and there when they told me that they was not going to look at my application because they looked more so at the paper applications. They kept telling me they didn't have paper applications. I was tired of looking for jobs that didn't want to hire me based off of my looks. What does McDonald's have to do with looks? I don't know. I don't know why jobs think that it's okay to sit here and treat people the way that they treat people, but then say that they want people to work and that they're providing more jobs. No, they are not. I was so excited that I got a job at Dunkin' Donuts that I was like, I could finally try to get out. I could finally try to live on my own. I literally was making $200 every 2 weeks. That's not barely enough to literally live off of. 100 of it went to my father because I lived in the house, and then 100 of it went to, then I only got 100. Then out of that 100, I had to pay 50-something out dollars to my phone bill, which left me with a little under $50 or something like that left. And the only time I got more money than that is when I worked overtime. And sometimes they tell you to go home early because they don't want you to work overtime. She would tell me even though I didn't finish, clock out. We can't have you overtime. Literally, I was not working full, like the 8 hours for minimum wage because she told me I had to work up towards that. That's crazy. People don't know what it's like to get treated differently. And I got treated differently because of my learning disability. And people may want to say that's not what it was, but that's what it was. When my dad told her that I had a learning disability and I was having a hard time finding a job, she was like, you know what, I'll give her a shot. I'll give her an opportunity. I had applied there before and they told me they didn't have no jobs. Now all of a sudden they have jobs. Every time something happened, she was trying to find ways to fire me. She was coming up with excuses. She was coming up with a lot of things to try to fire me for. And I knew it was coming. I knew eventually I was going to get fired because of how she was treating me versus how she treated the other workers. And she treated the other workers bad, but she treated me worse because I had a learning disability. $200 was not going to get me by anywhere. How can I afford to live off of $200? That makes no sense. If I wanted to make more money, I would work. Like, I could have worked somewhere else for more money. Like, hello, you want me to literally work for $200? But I just kept working because I was like, you know what? My dad got me this job. I'm going to prove that I could keep this job. I don't want to work for other people anymore. I don't want to be stuck at a job that I don't like because the manager is treating me horribly. I don't want to be treated differently. Just because I have a learning disability doesn't mean I can't work. I can't do anything. I'm tired of people looking at me and thinking that I'm not a good worker. I'm a damn good worker. I can work really hard. It's the fact that the way that I get treated by people, I don't want to get discouraged. I got discouraged every time I would apply somewhere and I would get no response, no job. I was just so sick and tired of it. I just said, you know what, F it. I'm going to do social media. People don't understand how hard I had to work to get here. Do you think I've never struggled in my life? You want to talk to me about struggle? My parents have been homeless most of my life. They lived in and out of motels when I was a baby. I lived in a homeless shelter when I was in an elementary school. At least you had a place to barely scrape by. I didn't have a place to barely scrape by. At one point in time, we almost had to sleep on a bench. Because my grandma, we were being thrown out of her house at night. Almost didn't have nowhere to go. With all of our stuff, almost had to sleep on a bench because my uncle was being an asshole. And then you literally have the nerve to tell me I don't know what it's like to scrape by? Imagine living from one motel to another. I was a baby. I don't remember any of that. But what I do remember is being in elementary school, being bullied, while having to go home and sleep on a mat on the floor because I slept in a homeless shelter. And then we slept in a room because it was me, my mom, and my brother because my dad was sick with bipolar at the time. Do you know how many times we lived at my grandmother's house? When I was in elementary school, we lived there once and she threw us out because my uncle started some shit. My asshole uncle that has always been an asshole to me and my family literally would come and fight with my mom, and I would have to go outside so I didn't have to hear it. And I would still hear him screaming at my mom, and I couldn't get away from that stuff. Like, I'm sick and tired of people coming on my page being negative, saying, I work real hard. You don't know what it's like to have to scrape by. You don't know my situation. You've never lived my life. You don't even know what it's like to live my life. You don't even know what it's like to be me because it's hard. Okay? I don't live your life and you don't live mine. Our struggles are not the same. But I know what it's like to scrape by. Having absolutely nothing, not even a place to call your home. And your own grandmother throws you out in the street. You know? My own grandmother threw me, my mom, and my brother out to the street. My uncle went and talked to this guy who luckily gave us a week or I don't know however long at a motel for free because he knew the guy. We literally were thankful enough to have a motel room when I was in elementary school before we had to plan to go to the shelter. My dad would come visit all the time. I'm sick and tired of people saying, I don't know what it's like. Imagine being involved with dangerous people at a young age in elementary school trying to touch you, okay? I shouldn't have to explain this. Like, your life, you say, oh, my life is harder than yours. Like, I'm tired of this trauma Olympics where, oh, I faced more stuff worse than you have. Like, this is not trauma Olympics, okay? We're not here to share who faced what worse. You don't know me. You don't know my life. If you barely had to scrape by, that's you. And why should you have to barely scrape by? You know? What if someone says, oh yeah, you barely scrape by, but that doesn't mean you worked hard enough. You're not working hard enough if you're barely scraping by. Get another job. Barely scraping by. Right? Just like everyone tells me, if you're going to sit here and say that you're barely scraping by, then get another job so you don't have to barely scrape by. You know why you won't get another job? I'll tell you why you won't get another job. Because you know another job is not going to help you or stop you from barely scraping by. Exactly. See, people keep proving my point. So you just proved my point. Anyways, guys, you know, this just like annoys me when people literally talk down on me like I've never ever experienced working a job or never anything. Don't tell me what I've never done. Anyways, guys, thank you for supporting me. Enjoy the rest of your guys' day. Stay positive, stay blessed. Sorry that it was kind of a little ranty, but I was just mad because someone was like, I barely had to scrape by and I worked. You don't even know what it's like. Like, when you tell someone that, do you not understand the life that they lead? My dad worked over 100+ jobs. You ain't done nearly enough if you're barely scraping by. He's probably worked more jobs than most of y'all, and you're over here like, I barely scrape by. Well, it doesn't seem like you ain't working, like you're working hard enough. You want to say that about me? I could say that about you. I think you're not working hard enough. I really don't. You know, that's what America wants. You to work till you unalive yourself. Not because you want to unalive yourself, but because you're exhausted. And me, let me tell you something. I'm not going to work like America wants me to the point where I'm so exhausted, I kill over because they want me to work until I die. I'm not going to work until I die. You work till you die, okay? Not me. I worked hard on my platform. I worked for my platform to get where it was. All of my platforms I worked hard for. You just don't instantly go viral. I went viral one day and I was never expecting to go viral. But I just kept going. It's not easy. Life is not meant to be easy for nobody. If it was, everyone would be able to easily make money. Life is not easy. And I'm sick and tired of people acting like I have it easy. I don't have it easy. I've never had it easy. Ever. Since the day I was born, life has never been easy. I'm doing the Tester Up app. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the app, but basically you get paid to do deals. And so one thing that kind of annoys me is how it doesn't really tell you what you need to do specifically. It's like, okay, so I was doing one of the deals and it said do 10 games, whatever, and you could get $103. I was like, okay, cool, easy. I went and downloaded it. Someone tell me why. Then I look, and then when I look at the offers, I literally have to play 3,000 games. 3,000 games of this to literally get the full, to get the full offer, and then have to pay $2.99, get cash back or so. What the heck? Can you be specific when you do these deals and tell us up front? Because I scrolled down. I didn't scroll down to read it. I just saw play 10 games and I saw it said 1, so it had 1, so I was like, oh, it has only 1 deal, and that's why I downloaded it to start playing, to do the offers. I hate these offer things so much because it's you gotta be patient. You know what's funny to me is if you're offering people to test these apps and then you're paying them money, there has to be faster offers than just doing 100 games or beating the whole game. It is so annoying the hoops you have to go through to complete these offers just to get the money. Like, it is so crazy to me. I just think it's funny, because a little extra cash for a little extra spending stuff, like buying boxes to unbox and things like that. That's what I'm wanting to do. I'm starting to realize that James is literally the most toxic one out of all of Big Time Rush. Like, I've been seeing his post-pro-Israel stuff. He is literally singing Lose Control by Teddy Swims with a background that has rubble and rubbish behind him. Like, that makes no sense. Your green screen doesn't match the literal cover that you are doing. And half of Big Time Rush is so problematic. Some people said Carlos might literally be a Trump supporter. I tried to look it up. I couldn't find it anywhere. The only ones who are not problematic is Logan and Kendall. But they're all problematic because of the one thing they said about BTS. They said, this sounds like girls singing, and it was literally BTS. But yeah, James is the most toxic one. James is literally the most toxic, and I used to like James. When Big Time Rush came out, I was in high school, and, James was now he's the most toxic, and I don't like James. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna unfollow James, because, like, his posts are, and then he has people, like, and then I saw Montana Tucker, and they were talking about Israel, and I'm like, girl, stick to dancing before you get canceled. Like, seriously, what's gone downhill with these celebrities? It's like shows that we grew up with. We like the celebrities. The celebrities. Sorry, my mom's watching this video. The guy that goes to like the cool restaurants. I forget his name. But anyways, we're watching him. But yeah, a lot of these childhood stars that we grew up with are literally the most toxic now, and it's sad. Also, because the reason why I say that is because Candace Cameron Bure is so problematic. Like, her view stance on things is crazy. She's a Trump supporter. She literally pushes her religion. I'm like, this is not like the DJ Tanner we knew from Full House. This is someone, like, when you grow up and you see these people having views that are not, you're like, it just makes you look at their character like, because I know it's just a character they portray, right? But it just I don't know, I just don't have the same feeling I did after the viewpoints of the character. It's just like with Bill Cosby, right? And the Cosby Show. You can't look at Bill Cosby's dad character the same again after what he did. Like, you can't. And Alan Thicke, too. Alan Thicke. Kendrick Lamar is literally keeping Drake down. Like, let me tell you something. Drake is not going to get back up. Drake can never be revived from what Kendrick Lamar is doing. Seriously, that new diss track? Let me tell you something. Kendrick Lamar, my guy, okay? That's why I love Kendrick Lamar. He's like top when it comes to my favorite rappers. He's up there. And as far as women rappers goes, Meg Thee Stallion, let me tell you something. My peoples is up with these diss tracks. No way. They're up, and stuck.
Oh shit, I'm late, but it's day 24 of documenting every day of Ramadan. Welcome.
Where is Doja Cat at McDonald's? I thought we were supposed to be boycotting McDonald's. And also, what the heck is she wearing? She's literally wearing saran wrap. It's literally plastic wrap. As a two-piece. Like, her tube top is plastic wrap. Then her, skirt is plastic wrap. Then it looks like her shoes. Like, the straps of her shoes, plastic wrap. Like, and she's eating at McDonald's. Like, that's not cute, Doja. Like, literally, McDonald's supports a genocide. Wow, this is so sad. Every time I see another celebrity supporting something that literally supports a genocide, it makes me sad. Like, why, Doja, why? And I know not enough people are gonna call her out.